Welcome. Today I will be paraphrasing, summarizing, and sharing for the March 24th Al-Anon readings in Courage to Change and a little time to myself. A little time for myself. Sometimes I just say that wrong. I apologize. We'll begin with the Serenity Prayer and 3 mindful breaths. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. I will take a moment to look this over. The question is, how has Al-Anon helped me heal? And this is a really, I was surprised when I read this. So this person is talking about getting the phone call that their son had been killed in a car accident, and how Al-Anon has helped them by going to meetings, being able to cry, receiving hugs, having a shoulder to lean on. This person is very grateful for all the Al-Anon members who share their courage, strength, and hope. And this person is so poignant. The person says, by allowing the fellowship into their heart, they can feel the presence of their son and their higher power. Wow. That's really touching. And the person says it's such a blessing. Today's reminder, Al-Anon lets us take however long we need to heal in a wonderful fellowship. And the quote is from Discovering Choices, Recovery in Relationships. So healing and recovery take place in close, intimate relationships with others. And that's what we create in our fellowship, because we trust each other and we help each other to recover. How has Al-Anon helped me heal? The first thing I heard in Al-Anon was that I didn't cause it. In fact, it's impossible to cause, it's impossible to control, and it's impossible to cure. And so I always felt that that was true because I knew that I had tried everything. I had always tried to do my best to raise a healthy child, and a healthy, happy child. And once I realized that my son was having challenges, I could do nothing about it. I could not control what substances he used. I could not control his behavior, especially when he was outside of our home and I wasn't with him. And I came to realize that it was very true that I couldn't cure it because I had tried everything and nothing worked. So Al-Anon helped me realize all those things were true. It was so validating and it was so freeing because that just released a bunch of guilt and opened my heart up so that I could focus on loving my son exactly as he is, which isn't hard to do. He's extremely lovable, but also doing the same for myself and realizing what I can control and what I can't control. Those were huge lessons that I'm still practicing every day. But that's a lot. Al-Anon has done a lot to help me heal, and I always say I'm immensely grateful, but it is 100% true. It is not an exaggeration. I'm not sure what other words to use. I am hugely appreciative, really, truly grateful. And it's not an exaggeration to say that Al-Anon helped save my life. Not an exaggeration at all. I'm going to take a moment to look this over. Wow. Okay, this passage is about the fact that alcoholism is a disease. Any substance abuse issue is a disease. And the passage likens active alcoholism to Alzheimer's disease or diabetes, because we see our loved ones slip away and we can become resentful. But if we accept the reality of the situation, it makes it easier to separate the person from the disease. And as I've mentioned before, my stepmom has dementia, so this pertains to me deeply. This touches me. Today's reminder: when we truly accept that alcoholism is a disease, we're forced to face the fact that we are completely powerless. Just over it's same thing over diabetes, same thing over Alzheimer's. And when we do that, we can gain the freedom to focus on our own spiritual growth. Wow. Yeah. Well, I know I did that. When my son was being challenged, but the difference is, thank God a million times that my son came out of it, and my stepmom isn't going to come out of it. That's the difference. Yeah. It's deep. The quote is from a guide for the family of the alcoholic. Yeah, like we wouldn't say, if you loved me, you wouldn't have diabetes. It's a condition, not an act. Yeah, totally. I know it's 100% true. That doesn't make it easy. For sure. And of course, I'm just thinking about my stepmom right now. I think that thinking about my son when he was having challenges, and as a reminder, that was like 12 years ago. It was it started like 16 years ago, and it lasted for like 4 years while he was living with me. And then he was homeless for about a year I think that whole section of time is very blurry to me. And then he recovered. And he decided that he didn't want to live his life that way, and he made changes. And thank God today he is a very loving father, a hard worker, a solid, lovable human being. So there was a time that I thought that he was really mad at me and he was trying to punish me. He was trying to hurt me. It really felt like he was trying to destroy me because of things that were going on, like the stealing and the lying and the not feeling safe in my own house. But when I finally came to the conclusion, and it was like a thank God moment. Thank God, because I never wanted to believe that about my son. When I realized that it was the disease that was doing all that and not my son, that my son had been overtaken by the disease, I was horrified, but I was also so relieved because I knew I didn't bring up my son to be like that. Nowhere ever did he ever get the message that that was okay. And it was still very heartbreaking, but at the same time, it's like I was dealing with a different challenge than I thought I was, because before I learned about this, I really thought that a lot of it must have been my fault because he was mad at me and that's why this was happening. And that's not, he may have had some issues with me, as many children do with their parents, but that's not why this was happening. This was happening for a multitude of reasons. And I think he's turning 30 in June, and I think he's still working them out. I'm just guessing he's still working them out because I'm 56 and I'm still working out my stuff. So, but what an amazing page. And as far as my stepmom goes, I know for sure she's not doing it on purpose. I know she has no control over it. It's just one of those things that living in this time that we have to deal with. I think in 50 years, hopefully even sooner, I don't think that people will be dealing with this kind of thing. I think that it'll be maybe a vaccination, who knows, maybe there'll be a treatment, maybe there'll be some way to reverse it or to keep it from happening altogether. I wish that would happen now so that my stepmother didn't have to suffer, and all the people that I know who have loved ones who have this. But I have to accept reality. And I never had a doubt that, that it wasn't her choice. But anyway. One day at a time. And I love her so much, and I accept her exactly as she is. It's more the effects that it has on my dad, and just seeing someone progress is challenging, but it's okay, all is well. We'll close out with the serenity prayer and 3 mindful breaths. Here we go. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Sending you love. Take care.